You've seen it all over social media, right? That super satisfying zip of the Tufting gun, the amazing colors, and those incredible custom rugs people are making. And you're probably thinking, hey, turning this into a business sounds like a dream come true. But here's the thing. Behind every cool creative business, there are some very real-world risks. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain and give you a totally honest look at what it really takes to run a successful Tufting workshop. We'll get into the opportunities, the hidden dangers, and a solid plan to handle it all. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the hype. You know, the huge opportunity that's got everyone so excited. Then we're going to get real about the hidden dangers, everything from health and safety to the financial squeeze. We'll also dive into the competition and wrap it all up with an actual playbook you can use to navigate everything we've talked about.
Okay, so why Tufting? And why is it blowing up right now? Well, it's pretty simple. It has absolutely exploded because it taps into this desire we all have for unique, hands-on, creative things to do. It feels new, it feels personal, and let's be honest, it looks incredible online.
And this is not just some small niche hobby. Get this, the global Tufting market is projected to be worth over $44 billion by 2032. I mean, that is a massive financial wave, and workshops are popping up all over the place trying to ride it. The opportunity is absolutely real, but you better believe the competition is too.
You know, this quote just nails the business model perfectly. You're not just selling a class on how to make a rug, you're selling an entire experience. It's a perfect fit for what people call the experience economy, where we all value memories and shareable moments way more than just stuff.
So it is super easy to get swept up in all this excitement. But a successful business, that's built on preparation, not just passion. So before you go and invest a bunch of money, let's talk about the really crucial, often overlooked risks you've got to manage.
First up, and honestly, this is the most critical category, health and safety. The creative fun of Tufting also involves power tools, a lot of noise, and tiny particles flying through the air. And ignoring these hazards isn't just irresponsible, it's a direct threat to your business.
Think about it. As that Tufting gun is zipping along, it's constantly cutting yarn, and that process releases these tiny little fibers into the air. We're talking fine particles of wool and acrylic that can be easily inhaled by you, your staff, and your customers. That can pose a pretty significant long-term respiratory risk. And yeah, the probability of this happening is high. It's not a question of if fibers get into the air, it's all about how you manage them. The impact can be anything from simple allergic reactions to really serious lung conditions. So listen, prevention is absolutely 100% non-negotiable. Mandatory FFP2 masks, good ventilation, and air purifiers are essential investments, not just optional extras.
Okay, next up is the noise. A single Tufting gun can easily hit 85 decibels. That's about the same as a power drill. Now just imagine 5, 10, maybe even 15 of those running at the same time in an enclosed room for hours. That cumulative exposure can cause permanent hearing damage.
This one's a medium probability, but it's a risk you really can't afford to ignore. The impact could be tinnitus or even hearing loss for anyone in the workshop. The good news is, the fix is pretty simple and effective. Provide mandatory ear protection for absolutely everyone, and maybe think about limiting session times to reduce that total exposure.
Let's be really clear about this. A Tufting gun is not a toy. It's a powerful tool with a super fast-moving, very sharp needle. If someone mishandles it, it can easily cause serious puncture wounds to their hands or, even worse, their face and eyes.
So the probability here is medium, but the potential impact is severe. An injury could lead to lawsuits and completely destroy your workshop's reputation. The prevention strategy is all about your process. You need to start every single session with mandatory safety training, no exceptions. And you have to provide safety goggles and make sure you have vigilant staff always on hand to supervise.
All right, now that we've covered safety, let's talk about the money. Because a creative business is still a business, right? And success really depends on having a solid financial foundation. The path is often squeezed between really high startup costs and the urgent need for immediate cash flow.
This slide really gets to the heart of the financial challenge. On one hand, you've got these high initial costs. Guns, frames, tons of yarn, and a decent space. But on the other hand, you have the pressure of not having enough cash flow if bookings are slow to pick up, which makes it really hard to cover things like rent and salaries.
This financial shortfall risk is very real, and it has a medium probability of derailing new workshops. The impact? Well, it could mean closing your business.
To prevent this, you need a smart financial plan. That means securing enough funding upfront, maybe starting small and expanding as you grow, and this part is so critical. You have to create a detailed budget with a healthy reserve fund for all those unexpected surprises.
So you've handled safety, you've secured your finances. What now? Well, now you face the outside world, a market that's full of competitors and trends that are always changing. Being the first or even the best isn't enough if you can't adopt.
If you look at some real-world examples, you can see how this all plays out. You've got one competitor, Tufting LV, who really leans into creating those picture-perfect Instagrammable memories. Then you have another, Dolly Art Factory. That's all about the fun, handmade experience. What this shows is that your strategy has to be about finding your own unique angle. Are you going to be the fun social hub, or will you stand out by offering premium, sustainable materials? You have to choose.
And this is the million-dollar question for any business that's based on a trend. Tufting is hot right now, we know that, but we also know that social media trends can be fickle. Building your entire business on just one single activity is a huge risk. So what's your plan for when the next big thing comes along?
The probability of this trend fading over time is probably medium to high, and when it does, the impact will be a sharp drop in your bookings. The only real way to survive this is to diversify. I mean, from day one, you should be thinking of your business as a creative hub, not just a tufting workshop. What other crafts can you introduce to keep your audience coming back?
Phew. We've looked at the challenges from every angle: health, money, and the market. So now, let's pull all of those prevention strategies together into a clear, actionable playbook. Think of this as your blueprint for building a business that can last. So you know the risks, that's great, but that's only half the battle. The real key is turning that knowledge into a concrete plan. That's what separates the businesses that thrive from the ones that just, well, survive. This is your strategic advantage.
All right, here it is, your 4-step playbook. Step 1, make safety your absolute top priority. No compromises. Step 2, build that financial buffer with a reserve fund to get you through any storm. Step 3, create an unforgettable brand that turns a single visit into a lasting memory and a loyal customer. And finally, Step 4, plan for diversification from the very beginning so you're never totally reliant on a single trend.
And really, this is the bottom line. Being a great tufter is one thing, but building a business that actually lasts, that requires mastering the risks, not just the craft itself. It's all about foresight, planning, and having a deep respect for everything we've talked about today.
So we'll leave you with this question. The opportunity is huge, no doubt about it, but the challenges are very real. Now that you understand what it actually takes to navigate them, you're in a much better position to decide if taking that creative leap is worth it for you.